This story isn't about fame. It isn't about television. And it's not about headlines. It's about a moment that quietly changed everything, without warning, without spectacle, and without the world realizing what was happening in real time. In late December, a short message appeared online. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't sensational, but within hours, it left thousands of people trying to understand how someone so full of life could suddenly be gone. Mickey Lee, known to many from Big Brother, had passed away. And while the headlines focused on what happened, very few stopped to ask the more important question: who was she beyond the screen? That's where this story really begins. A public figure, a private reality. To most viewers, Mickey Lee was a familiar face, confident, expressive, and full of energy. During her time on Big Brother, she became known for her openness, her emotional intelligence, and her ability to connect with people in real time. But reality television only shows a fraction of a person. Behind the cameras, Mickey lived a life that many never saw. According to publicly available information, she worked as a creative professional and event curator, building experiences that brought people together. Friends and collaborators often described her as someone who made rooms feel warmer just by being in them. That sense of connection would later become a central part of how people remembered her. The moment that changed everything. In late December, her family shared a statement confirming that Mickey had passed away during the holiday period. The message was careful, respectful, and focused on remembrance rather than details. They described her as someone who captured the hearts of audiences and emphasized the joy she brought to others, both on and off screen. According to publicly shared information, she had experienced serious health complications following the flu and had been receiving medical care. A fundraiser created earlier had explained that she was in critical but stable condition at the time, surrounded by loved ones and medical professionals. What followed wasn't speculation. It was silence, reflection, and a wave of support. A community responds. Almost immediately, messages began appearing across social media. Not dramatic reactions, but thoughtful ones. People shared moments, memories, and gratitude. Former cast members, viewers, and supporters didn't speak about competition or television moments. Instead, they talked about kindness, about humor, about how she made people feel seen. And that reaction says something important. Because when the noise fades, what remains isn't fame, it's impact. A pause that makes you think. There's something quietly powerful about how this story unfolded. No controversy, no spectacle. Just a reminder of how quickly life can shift and how the smallest human connections often leave the deepest mark. And this raises a larger question, one that goes beyond any single person or show. Why do some stories stay with us long after the cameras stop rolling? That's where the next part begins. The space between fame and reality. What made this moment resonate wasn't just the news itself. It was the contrast. On screen, Mickey Lee was known for confidence, expression, and presence. Off screen, according to those close to her, she was navigating the same uncertainties that many people face quietly. That duality, public recognition paired with private vulnerability, is something few talk about openly. And yet, it's something many recognize. Public figures often become symbols. But behind the label, the persona, or the edit, there's still a human experience unfolding in real time. This is where the story subtly shifts from a headline to a reflection, when the audience becomes a community. In the days following the announcement, online spaces began to change tone. Comment sections turned reflective. Messages shifted from shock to appreciation. People didn't just talk about episodes or memorable moments, they talked about how someone made them feel understood, represented, or less alone.